Welcome to another episode of WTF. Welcome to Friday, or what the you get to decide depending on how your week has gone. And WTF went on a hiatus, an unintentional hiatus. And I was called out by somebody I care about the other day who said, "Hey, what the hell? Where's your WTF episodes?" And, my whole brain went to, life's been lifing and things have been crazy and I don't have time and I'll get back to it. But that wasn't the point of WTF at all. If you listen to my Wednesday episodes, Parenting Teens Advice Redefined for Today's World, I have, the hour-long episodes with experts, and we talk about very targeted discussions around teens and how to help you support the growth and expansion of yourself and your teen and all the really tough stuff. I mean, the tough conversations. So I invite you to listen to that on Wednesday mornings. But the whole point of WTF was there's no editing, there's no studio, there's just me giving you a bit of an update in hopes that if you are in the middle of what I just came out of or heading into what I just came out of, maybe this will help if I'm talking to one person. So my first thought is thank you to the person who called me out for not doing WTF, because it tells me one thing, that one person is listening, and I only need one person to talk to. I only need one person to help to make this what I want it to be. And it brought me right back to accountability and excuses that I need to eradicate from my life and just be accountable to myself and to whoever happens to jump on to one of these episodes and is able to say, "Oh my God, she's talking right to me and she can help." And that's the whole reason we're here. As we and I doom scroll sometimes on social media, we get the people who are polished and finished, getting to the end of their journey. And we see, the perfect presentation and the perfect talk and the perfect body, what they consider a perfect body. Or, they're making the 8 figures and here's how to do it. But we don't often see that whole messy, crazy, discouraging middle. And if we don't see that in other people, sometimes the end result feels very unattainable. So the whole point of WTF is to take this journey with me and hopefully give you a shed of light, a shed of hope that things can turn around, and that if you can really hold on to what it is you're going through, the deep, the dark, the storm, if you can hold on to that and know that this is totally and 100% in your favor, even if it doesn't feel good, even if it isn't what you planned, even if it isn't on your vision board, if you can just hang on to, yep, this is the storm, but if there was no storm, I'll never see the rainbow. I'll never see the sunlight. I'll never recognize it as something, because I'm not recognizing that the storm is literally the biggest gift. So for those of you who've been kind of following what's happening, I have just gone through a year of, on the outside, people thinking, I don't know how you're even smiling. I don't know how you have come out the other side. I don't know, like, what the hell? And I found myself able to hang on to, this is a gift, this is a gift, this is a gift. And it's not like rhetoric. It's not woohoo. It's literally, it's a gift. So I've spent a year of shedding something that was no longer serving me, that I can now look back and go, oh, okay, I know why this happened. I know why that happened. And here's how much I've grown from it. I don't recognize myself anymore. I don't recognize who I have become, but man, I like her. I like her. I like where it's going. And I like the fact that whenever, and it always happens, you take 3 steps forward and then 5 steps back, and it gets a little bit discouraging. But it's like, okay, the 5 steps back means there's something else that I have to learn here before I can take my 2 steps forward again. And I want people to understand that. And here's an example. So in this shedding of a relationship, I have, first of all, been able to list all the wins, even though they were buried deep, all the lessons, all the things that came out of it because of this relationship. And it has changed my way of thinking and my way of being, because I'm no longer sitting in, oh my God, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Why did I make these decisions when I knew they probably were not great decisions? It's turned around, because if I didn't make this decision, then that wouldn't have happened. So here's an absolute example for you. It meant finding somewhere else to live. And over the past year, more than a year, I have been looking to get back into the city that I love. And I don't care what anybody says. Geography is geography. And if you're in a place that gives you a vibe and some energy, you're in the right place. And there's a lot to be said for that. So this meant a year of looking for places to live. And in the meantime, couch surfing in beautiful places like this. So not a problem. But looking for places that I was looking at condos. I started looking at condos in Toronto, thinking, oh, this is perfect. Finding all the good things about a condo that I wanted. And I must have applied for 6 different condos. And they were all the perfect condo. This is the one, I know. And I would put in an application. I checked all the boxes for applying for these condos. But every time there was a block. Oh, we need this. Okay, here's this. Oh, we need something else. Here's this. And I was going through this spiral of almost manipulating to make it happen by giving them more and more and more, thinking that this is the way it has to be. So after about the 6th rejection, I kind of sat and thought, something's up here. I don't belong in a condo. I don't belong in a condo. I don't belong in the condo life. Nothing wrong with it. But for me, what did I love about my house before I moved? I love the space. I love access to outside. And I love the connection with the person who owned the house, a landlord. I loved having that relationship because I am investing in them and they're investing in me. And when you are looking for condos, at least in Toronto, there's like 6 different parties. Your agent, their landlord, and then it's crazy. It made it very, very difficult. And that's the key. So then I decide, okay, it's a house. I want to be in a house. So I found a house, love the house, applied for the house, same thing. We need this, we need that, we need this. And this time I thought, I'm not doing anymore. You got my application, you got everything I need. If it's a no, it's a redirection. And then I decided to stop dealing with third parties. Nothing wrong with real estate agents, don't get me wrong. So I went into the neighborhood that I love, jumped into the Facebook group of that neighborhood and said, hey, this is me This is who I am. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I can offer. Period. An hour later, I get a message from someone who said, hey, we have a place. It's not listed yet. Sounds like you might be perfect. Come and see it. So this is on a Thursday. I go see it on a Thursday. I love it. There's a couple things that don't really work, but I love the vibe. I love the fact that I had a personal connection already with somebody living there, and talked to the owner the next day. And he was like, you want to go in and measure? You want to do all this? No problem. I'll just give you the key. Like, I'll just give you the key. He hadn't looked at my credit report. He hadn't looked at my income. He hadn't phoned a reference. Nothing. I'll give you the key. Huh. Is it too easy? Or was it supposed to be easy? Was it supposed to be easy? I had the key. I had moved in within 5 days. I still swear to God, he hadn't looked at anything that he was supposed to look at. But the vibe was there. The connection was there. The relationship was there. The trust was there. It was just easy, easy. Booking the mover, easy. Getting the furniture in, easy. He even called me like 4 times to make sure everything was okay. Who does that? Easy. And it has all fallen into place. I could not be happier. And when I think back to any of those condos, if I had gotten accepted to any of those condos, I would have been so unhappy. And so let this tell you something. It's not that we can't step out of our comfort zone. We can step out of our comfort zone. That's where growth happens. But there's a difference between stepping out of your comfort zone and coming up against so much resistance that maybe someone, something, somewhere is saying, no, Cheryl, that one's not for you. And I'm going to make sure that you don't get it. I'm going to make sure I'm going to put all the blocks into place. And if you keep fighting the blocks, yeah, you might get it, but you're not going to be happy. So here's another block and here's another block. And when I finally just said, after the first house that I didn't get, I just said, no, I'm not giving you any more paperwork. I'm not trying to prove myself to you. If it's a no, it's a no. And it means that it's not meant to be. And when I released that whole trying to manipulate things working, when I released all of that and just made it easy, everything fell into place in ways that I can't even explain. So WTF is back. I'm not dropping this again. And the great thing about WTF is no work for me. It's not going to an editor. It's not going to sound check or any of that. It's this, upload, and off to you. And hopefully, if there's any one person just sitting here going, I am in the middle of the storm and I'm trying to manipulate my way out of it. Don't manipulate your way out of it. You are not being rejected. You are being redirected to something so much better. You're going to look back like I am today and go, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it gets better and it gets better and it gets better. So once again, thank you to the friend that called me out on not doing WTF, because we are back and I'm grateful to be back. I'm grateful to even the one person that's listening. And if it doesn't resonate with your situation, you probably know somebody that might be sitting in a storm. Send this to them, because the storm is the most important place to be when you know that it's here for a reason. There's something here that I'm coming out of with not just an umbrella. I'm coming out with sunshine and rainbows, and I promise you, and there will be another storm. There will be more storms. But knowing that, oh, I came out of that storm a completely different person. I'll go into the storm and come out of this next storm a completely different person, another level. And I'm just so grateful for all of it, not just the good stuff. So there's hope, and have faith, and try to differentiate your comfort zone from blocks and resistance that don't feel good, because it's trying to tell you something. Thanks for listening to WTF. Thanks for calling me out. And I will 100% committed to see you next Friday. Thanks for listening. Have a beautiful weekend.